Hello, seniors. Mr. LeBlanc here, recording from my kitchen. And here I am with the second thing I wish I would have known before I went away to college. Are you ready for it? You can't do it alone. You need a community to support you. One of the things I hope I've taught you this semester is that as human beings, we're social by nature. We need the help of others. We need relationship. We need support networks. And whenever we don't have those in play, life is a lot harder than it has to be. So, don't be the arrogant, stereotypical, cocky high schooler that I was whenever I graduated, thinking that you know everything about absolutely everything and that you don't need any support. Because you do. It's just a fact of human nature. And it's not something that changes whenever you move into adulthood, whenever you transition into the next great thing that God wants you to have. So, community is important. And the other thing about community, it needs to be actively pursued. Community typically, unless you're like super lucky, isn't something that comes to you. Especially if you're going to a larger college, a larger university, you're going to have to be proactive in finding a community. That's just the fact of the matter. I went to a college that had like 1,200 students total. It was a small college, it was tiny. But I still had to make an active effort to find a community that accepted me and that I got along with and could lean on for support. Luckily, I was blessed with a good community. That arrogant college student that I was, don't be this guy, I never lean on them for support. Because I had this mistaken notion that, oh, I'm a high school graduate, I'm getting straight A's in college now, things are going well, I don't need other people, I don't need support, I can do it all on my own. That worked for a couple years, but then my junior year of college came to a head, and I had legitimately chased away most people who wanted to help me out. Because, and you might not get this from me because I'm better about it now, I was super arrogant and I was not a nice person to the people around me. And whenever the crap hit the fan, I didn't have that support network to rely on. So, hopefully you're not as numbskulled as I am, and you realize going into college that you need other people to support you. Most generally, this is going to be our family. But realistically, you're probably going away to college to get away from your family. So you're going to have to make an active effort to find groups that you belong in. And one of the best ways of doing this is getting involved with some sort of extracurricular thing on campus. Because whenever you share interests with a group of people, you're more likely to build community with them. It's not a silver bullet. It doesn't always go that way. But especially the first couple years of college is whenever you're sort of establishing that support group. And a related thing, and it's almost like a cliche nowadays, but it's super important. Call your parents every once in a while, whichever one you're closest to. Maybe you're close to both your parents. For me, I was closest to my mom. So I called her once a week, even if we didn't have too much to talk about, just to remind me in a certain sense that even though I was like 3.5 hours away from home, my parents, specifically my mom, was still there for me if things did get bad. So, in order to have a successful experience after high school, you're going to have to actively pursue community. Now, of course, the theology teacher in me wants to say that probably the best way you can do this is by getting involved with your Newman Club, Newman Center, which is basically the Catholic Church's ministry to college students. You get access to Mass and people, fellow Catholics, and an increasingly secular university atmosphere. But there are so many different things you can get involved with at college. And I urge you to at least try some of them out, the things you're interested in. and build relationships with the people. Because, like in high school, it's your relationships with others that's going to pull you through the difficult times. That could be a relationship with your friends, or if you're blessed like me and you like are going to a small college because that's what you thrive in a little bit better, it can even be friendships with your professors. Because that's something you'll notice as you transition to college. Especially in smaller schools, you're going to be able to build a relationship with your professor. And it's going to be a relationship built on mentorship if it's a good professor. You're not always going to get good professors. But that's the thing I want to leave you with. I'll have a couple resources that I think will be helpful for you to pursue about finding, seeking, and relying on community in college. But in the meantime, I love you guys. I'll see you around. And, well, hopefully we'll have a nice graduation ceremony in the next several weeks. Yeah? Talk to you later.